Hello. So I want to talk about my PRK story. Why am I doing this? I've never made a YouTube video before or any video before, but I have found that as I am recovering, I'm just not finding videos that speak to what I'm going through right now. And I'm hoping that just made me realize that there's a need for this. So I am at 1 month exactly today, or 4 weeks since my PRK. So my prescription was negative 275 on both eyes. Very mild prescription. I saw perfectly close and can basically function without glasses, but normally wore glasses for, driving, seeing far. Didn't hate being in glasses, but my husband he got LASIK early this year or last year and decided that he's like, got me on the trend or idea of getting 20/20 and 20/20. So I thought, hey, why not? Seems so happy not having glasses or contacts, and we do a lot of sports such as mountain biking and snowboarding and hiking and camping, and that is really tough with glasses sometimes, especially some of the more active things like mountain biking. Wearing contacts for me, I have pretty dry eyes normally from contacts, especially if I do it more than a few days in a row. I start to have really bad dry eyes. So I generally avoid them unless I have to avoid contacts. Anyway, so that's why I was like, hey, this might be a good solution for me. And when I went in, my original doctor told me I could do LASIK, but because of my dry eyes, PRK was going to be a better solution for me. But she kind of nudged me to not get the surgery. She said, your eyes aren't too bad, and as you age, you'll be able to see closely. So, she actually performs PRK. She's a very busy doctor in the Seattle area. So I decided to go to another clinic to see what they thought, and my insurance actually covered most of it, which is insane. It's not normal. So I went to this other clinic, and they confirmed that they thought PRK would be better for me, and just kind of literally talked up all the beauty and amazing things about PRK. And they were like, the recovery is 1 to 2 weeks. Oh, you can easily work after a week. I'm an ER nurse. So about these places, they really, really downplay any sort of side effects. They tell you it's 1.6% or something that things going wrong. And they literally wouldn't even talk to me about the stuff. They gave me a piece of paper that I read. And when I tried to talk about it, I was really scared about getting the surgery because I've YouTubed bad experiences, read a bunch of horror stories, and I was like, oh, Lord, I don't know if I want to do this. And when I would bring it up, they would all just tell me that those things rarely happen, never happen to anybody, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I'm not going to go over the actual getting surgery because I feel like there are a million videos out there about the actual PRK procedure. Pretty straightforward. My doctor used a brush versus alcohol. He said it was alcohol can leak. And anyway, he preferred the brush method. I saw pretty great the following day and wasn't super miserable. In fact, went to a friend's house for dinner. Definitely kind of a little bit uncomfortable, stingy feeling, but manageable. Vision was pretty functional. So 2 days later, I was hot, I couldn't even open my eyeballs. They were just stinging, super light sensitive. My phone was like a white blur. All the lights were these starbursts kind of. It was like a 3D star. It was just horrible. I literally just stayed in bed for that full day. Anyway, seemed to be better after that. Pain subsided. About a week after, they pulled my contacts out, my bandaged contacts out, and they said the next day my vision was going to get bad, which it didn't. I actually felt really great, super clear. Then after that, it started to feel like it got horrible. Day after day, it was actually getting worse and worse and worse. I started to notice that I couldn't read my phone. My phone was just like super blurry. I'd struggled with like brightness of my phone before that. That doesn't seem to bother me anymore. But the blurry letters, like reading text, this seems to get like, it started to get progressively worse. In fact, at the like week and a half-ish mark, 10-day mark, I wrote the physician and was like, I can't even read my phone. I can't read a piece of paper. And she said, oh, it's only going to get better. And your focal point is different now, where you don't need to be like holding your phone up this close anymore, like to see, you can hold it further. Well, the truth is, like, when I hold my phone right here, I see nothing. It's like a blur. So that's totally changed. Try to collect my thoughts and be more clear with what I'm trying to communicate. Basically, at around the 2-week mark, I was seeing worse than I was seeing at the 1-week mark, and especially my near vision. It was super distressing. I noticed that I could see it felt very good, like very, very far away. Like, we live near mountains and I'm seeing like trees on those mountains beautifully. But that's about what I feel like I see clearly. As things get closer to me, it feels like they are blurrier. This is like an emotional roller coaster. To feel like your eyesight's getting worse after surgery than better. The physician was very unhelpful in terms of, or ophthalmologist, I don't know if they call them physicians, doctor. She was like, this could get better still, or it could be that you have an overcorrection, which scares the life out of me and scared the life out of me. I started like crying. And so she's like, let's just see where you're at a month. And things should get gradually better from there. When I went into my 2-week appointment, they said I could see like 20/30. But to be honest, everything on that line was blurry. And like I literally would be like blinking and focusing really hard to see anything on that line. And they still tell you see 20/30. I think it was 20/30 on this eye and 20/40 on this eye. Which, to be frank, I would never trade my far vision for my near vision, because near vision is like functional. Like, you need to, like, I start a lot of IVs in my job. I need to be able to start IVs like rapidly. I need to be doing assessments like rapidly. And so struggling to see something close is like a total mind trip. I would never ever trade the vision like this, and was never even told that it was a possibility outside of a little line that you sign that say your vision might be worse after. Anyway, fast forward to a month. I am still overcorrected. I had to get readers. I'm 37. I just turned 37. They say that as you age into your 40s and 50s, you might need to get readers after LASIK or PRK. I am at this point, I think my prescription was like plus 1 point something. I don't even know specific, like 1.1 on this eye, a little worse on this eye. This eye sees bad far and near. And she told me that it may or may not get better. So that's where I'm at, about a month out. I am trying to hold on to, this eye has gotten clear far. I do feel like I see pretty decently far with this vision, with this eye. My vision is pretty good. But near kind of comes and goes. It's still blurry, but not as bad as this eye. This eye is straight, like very blurry, especially phone and computer screens. So I'm just really hopeful this is all going to pass. And I've read some stories about people being blurry until about 6 weeks. I am just really, really hoping that my overcorrection will go away and my eyes will equalize and or figure themselves out, heal. As far as all the other things people complain about, like brightness and halos, I don't have any of those issues. In fact, at night, I noticed that my vision is like better than during the day. I feel like I'm having a hard time with contrast. So during the night, the contrast is really significant. So it's easy for me. Whereas during, especially dusk, when I find myself driving, I'm like freaked out because it feels like the cars like are swimming with the road. It's really hard. I think the contrast has been, and also perception, depth perception has been really a struggle. Like I've misperceived stairs and fell. I think it's because of this near far vision. I don't know what's going on with me, but I'm still having to recalculate how far things are. It feels like things are closer with this eye than they are with this eye. So they're like different in terms of depth perception, and that may be normal for normal eyes, and it's just different for me now. But that's all. The other thing I'm struggling with, I think the scariest thing about this is that you just don't know if this is all part of the normal process and you're just a slow healer, or if this is just how it's going to be. And that's what the doctor keeps telling me. She's like, yeah, I don't know, this may be permanent, or like meaning I'll need another enhancement, or it might heal, which I feel is so discouraging. I really wish they would tell you, like, this is part of the process. Typically people heal. I don't know if they're just worried about giving false hope. I just do think hope, as a nurse, I know hope is extremely powerful, especially for the mental, like health, to be able to give patients hope. And you don't want to, obviously I don't give people fake, like false hope and totally just tell them they're going to make it when they're not. But, and like when things are still so unknown, I definitely will try and feed a lot of the positive and instill hope in people. Hope is extremely powerful, especially for our healing. So I'm trying to find hope, especially in reading other people's stories about that they're still blurry at 6 weeks or, 4 weeks. But that's where I'm at. I just wanted to give like a non-perfect video about PRK and the chances that I may be overcorrected. And what's also annoying is that they say like none of this is the fault of the laser or the physician, it's all your eyes. So my eyes over responded with the laser, and that is why I am now overcorrected. And for those people that don't know what overcorrected means, it means like she said it feels like I am wearing prescriptions that are way too strong for me. So like 1.5 times too strong. So everything's blurry up close, super crisp, super far. So I am just praying that it'll all heal up, and that's my story. PRK reality. Right now, I would tell people that I wouldn't recommend it for someone like me who is generally doing very well with glasses and isn't super bothered by glasses. Like if you're someone that has a really strong prescription, or glasses are just super horrible, it might be worth the risk. But for someone who is generally pretty decently happy with glasses, yeah, it's just, at this point, I would never say I would recommend this. It's been like, not just in the physical horribleness of the pain and stuff that I experienced early on, that to me wasn't that bad. It's more of the mind in the fear of never being able to see well again and having to have this new reality of just this kind of like botched vision, I would say. Yeah, it's something to consider for those that are getting it. There's one more thing I was going to say, but I think I've forgotten now. But yeah, hope this helps somebody out there in terms of either healing or deciding if they want to do PRK. I will do another update about my eyes in about a month and see, or if they're significantly better in a couple weeks. So I'll post on here. But yeah. Also, for those that wonder, my voice, I had COVID in December, so it's been like 2 months ago. Developed some nodules on my vocal cords from the inflammation and then talking over the inflammation. So I'm trying to heal that away. That's why I sound like a man. So I'm also curious if that has anything to do with why I'm healing poorly on my eyes. I was like 6 weeks post COVID when I got the eye surgery. I'd already scheduled it a long time before. And I was really concerned about maybe like my body still had high inflammation or maybe wasn't ready for something more. I am curious. I mean, obviously, this whole COVID thing is new to everybody, but I'm wondering if that played into why I'm healing slower or not as well. They say that slower healers are generally people that have high prescriptions or are old. So I didn't have either of those, unless people consider your 30s old. Yeah. Have a good day.